Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Table Enabled. Starting a new week of Shulchan Aruch Yomi, Simon Kufsad, Vav 196. Hopefully by Thursday we'll be getting a Simon Reish, which is 200. I mean, 200 shiurim and Ian shiurim. It means a total of 400 shiurim on Shulchan Aruch Yomi. Unprecedented ever in the Jewish world. Definitely on audio, certainly on visual, on video. So this is really unprecedented. I'm out of the gate before anyone even knew what hit him. They knew they were in a race. So maybe at least somebody will try to copy this, but can you really match up with the breadth and depth of my shiurim? The answer is no, so don't even try. All right, let's start. When someone ate something that was usher, um, do you join together for a zimun? We're going to learn the answer to that question. Aleph achal davar isra achal pisha eno asra al midrabanan em mezamin alav ein mevarchin alav lo betchila v'lo besof. If you ate something that's just midrabanan, doraisa. Let's tell you something. If you ate a cheeseburger, asra midoraisa, or you ate a cheeseburger where the cheese was not melted onto the hamburger, it was just cold cheese, right? So the halacha is that's only asra midrabanan. If you didn't know that, you could have a cheeseburger. If you don't melt the cheese because it wasn't cooked together. Sorry, if the cheese wasn't cooked together with the hamburger, that would be only asr midrabanan. Even if they were cooked separately, you heat up the cheese and you put it on the hamburger, and it didn't cook together. I mean, it wasn't yatzol, it didn't cook with the meat. So that's only asr midrabanan. Nonetheless, if you're eating a hamburger, with the bun, and you want to join the zimun, you can't join. You can't be part of that zimun, and you also can't. You're not supposed to make a bracha in the beginning and a bracha at the end. You shouldn't make hamoti. You shouldn't make bekas hamazon. The Gemara says, someone who does an Isser and he makes a bracha, you don't bless God on something that doesn't allow you to do. It's, sort of like rebelling against God. So there's no point in making a bracha. There's actually an interesting story here in Israel. Someone ate on Burger King, and there was apparently a kosher certificate. It was kosher at one point, maybe according to the Rabbanut, and they removed the kosher certification about a year ago, and then they either on purpose or they by mistake forgot to take down one of the signs that said it was kosher. A person walked in there. He's like, "Wow, this tastes really good. It tastes like amazing. Like, what is this? This cheese? I thought it was vegetarian. I thought it was non-dairy cheese." I said, "No, it's dairy cheese." So you mean I ate a cheeseburger? Yeah. He sued them. He took his Burger King, I'm thinking in Israel, he's suing them for eating non-kosher. I didn't know you can have a lawsuit for Judaism, but apparently you can. Religious damages. Um, Interesting case. Base imachal davar isar b'mkom sakana mavarchin alav. Right? If you have nothing else to eat, you're starving, you're gonna die, and there's only a cheeseburger that you're allowed to eat it. Not only allowed to eat it, but you also make a bracha before and after, and presumably you'd also allowed to join the zimun. Right? If you're starving and you have a cheeseburger and your two friends are eating, their veggie burgers or their real burgers with non-dairy cheese. So then, you can join with them for Zion because you're allowed to be eating it because you're dying. And if you're dying, it's called v'chai bahem. V'chai bahem we learn in the Gemara and Yuma. It's not just the chuya where you're doing an isser. The Torah says okay to do an isser. It's actually mutter. The Torah wants you to do it. Right? We think of a lot of times we think as pig or treif or nevela as disgusting things, but that's not really what they are because the word the Torah uses asr, right? Asr means tied. Really, it means comes from an asur, means to be tied, right? Everything basically is meant to be enjoyed in this world. There are certain things that we can't access right now. We're not at the level where if we were allowed to access those things, it would lead us on the wrong path. So, God forbid, we use the word forbid. Forbid, it doesn't really mean that there's an inherent problem with these things. Like some people say that it's not healthy to eat, meat and milk together, or it's not healthy to eat certain species of fish or animals, but that's not the truth. The truth is that really all these things are intended. God created the world that we should enjoy them, and if 99% of the world finds cheeseburgers enjoyable, so obviously it's something which is enjoyable. We shouldn't reject them and say those people have no idea what they're talking about. For whatever reason, us as practicing Jews, we don't do that right now because it's tied up. We can't untie the knot until Mashiach comes and he unties the knot. and explains exactly what the Torah meant, right? Because we think, a cheeseburger, you go to McDonald's, a cheeseburger, that's what's usher. The truth is, that's really probably not usher. I'm not going to say you eat a cheeseburger. You shouldn't eat a cheeseburger. That's our current understanding. But one day Mashiach will come and teach us that Hasr b'chalav means something very different than what we think it is. And really, cheeseburgers are probably okay. I'm not giving you, it's not a heter to go eat cheeseburgers. You're not allowed to eat cheeseburgers. I don't think the guy who's suing Burger King has a lawsuit, even if they misled him. I don't think you can sue someone financially for religious damage, especially because if it's not your fault, it's not your fault. You can't sue them financially. We never find in the Torah that if someone causes someone to do an Aveira, he has to pay for that. You don't have to pay for someone. If you cause them to do an Aveira, intentionally, unintentionally, you don't have to pay for that. If you ruin someone's stuff, right, that's a discussion. It has actually no nicker, right? Let's say you have truma of a Kohen and you're matami, and now he can no longer eat it, right? So you financially hurt him spiritually. I mean, davar she'eino nicker. Right? You spiritually hurt him, but that's because you financially hurt him because you took away his food, his accessibility to eat the food. But if you misled someone and caused them to do an Aveira, I don't believe there's financial liability related to that. But again, this is, related to the government here in Israel. It's not a theocracy. Gimel. Three people ate together. Echad nizar mepas oved kachavim. Ve'echad eino nizar. One person is careful not to eat pas akum. Most people nowadays are not makbid on pas akum. If you go to America, you go to A&P, or you go to, I forgot the supermarket, sorry, over there. What's the ShopRite or whatever? You go there, you pick something up. A lot of the bread they sell is pas akum. Entenmann's is all pas akum. It's also chalav akum, but it's also pas akum. All these breads that, whatever, Arnold's bread or whatever, I think I remember that one. It's made by Goyim, but technically there's no problem with it. But some people are makbid, and I think a lot of people are makbid during Aseret Semei Tshuva. So one person is careful not to eat it, one person is not. One person is a Kohen, and he gets to eat challah. We don't eat challah nowadays because Kohanim are tamei. But let's say he was told, even though one of them can't eat with the other person, I mean, Yisrael can't eat the challah of the Kohen, and the other person can't eat the pas akum, right? Since the Kohen could eat with Yisrael, the person who's who's not careful about pas akum could eat the pas akum, could eat with the other guy, so therefore they join together. Let's say a Kohen and Yisrael were eating together. The Kohen are eating truma or challah. And it's hard with pas shel oved kochavim, Azar ochel pas shel oved kochavim. The Yisrael is eating pas akum, and the Kohen happens to be careful. He'll eat challah, but he won't eat pas akum. Einam mitzarfen, they can't join together because neither of them can eat with each other. Again, three people, they each forbade each other from getting hanaf from them, and they eat together, even though they're eating their own loaf of bread. They can't join together because they can't. No one else can take from his friend's bread. If they're all eating and they come to someone's house, three people, they can't get enough from each other, but they could get enough from the fourth person, the balabayas, and they all eat from his bread together, so they're joining in the meal, so then they could be mitzaref for zimun. In order to be part of a zimun, you have to at least eat a kazayas. Now, it doesn't mean you have to eat a kazayas of bread. We'll see only two people have to eat kazayas of bread. The other person has to eat a kazayas of a different food, let's say jelly beans or something like that. That would be okay. But if he lets eat a kazayas, that's not called achila for a zimun. That's the conclusion of today's share. Stay tuned for Ian with Ben Sion. We'll discuss halacha gimel. Is a very strange halacha. I understand if you tell me that you can't be mitzaref for someone in zimun if he ate something which is asr midaraisa, or even midrabanan. But pas akum is not asr midrabanan. It's some people have a minhag that's a chumrah. So I can understand that Yisrael can't join together with a Kohen eating challah because he's asr to eat challah. A zar can't eat challah. But because the Kohen can't eat the pas akum, he chooses not to. He could technically forgo his chumrah over here. It's not really ba'atzem asr, right? So if it's not ba'atzem asr, so why can't they join together with Messiah for a zimun? Because technically I could eat it, right? If you tell me I can't eat it because the Torah forbids me, even the Rabbanan forbid me, fine. But here he's choosing not to do that. So why does that prevent him from joining together for the zimun? If you had that question, I don't think you did. Maybe you did have that question. Check out Ian to lean on coming up next, where we answer that question.